Hey guys, this is Payload Pat, and I'll be go ahead and showing you guys today how to do an unintended Windows 10 Pro install. We also are going to be creating a bootable USB stick as well as creating an answer file that will hold all of the user information for the administrator, local administrator on your account. So once you download it, you don't have to worry about going through the out of the box experience like setting your time zone, your keyboard layout, your language, all that good stuff. So just stay tuned and let's go and get to it. All right, perfect. So the first thing that we need to go ahead and do is let's get that Windows 10 Pro ISO file. So um, let's go ahead and open up Chrome browser. And what we're going to do is search up Windows 10 Pro download. All right, so let's do that here. All right, perfect. So let's go ahead and click the first link that you see down there. And as you see here, there's two options, do an Windows 10 Mate 2021 update and create Windows 10 installation media. We're not going to be doing either of those. And this is going to be for those who have Windows already on their computer. As you see, there's no option to download the actual ISO file, and I'll show you a quick and handy way to do it. So let's go ahead and select more tools and then click developer tools. And we want to go ahead and select network and then go down to network conditions. Um, we want to go to user agent and we want to uncheck this use browser defaults. So let's go ahead and check that. And now what we want to do is we want to select something that's not um, Chrome here, so we don't want anything from there, as well as we want to select something like Mac, because they give you the ISO file without having to do anything else. So yeah, so let's go ahead and select. I'll go ahead and select Safari, and I'll click Mac here, and then what we need to do is just do a F5, and this will reload the page. And with that page reloaded, as you see here, it changed the entire page here. So now it actually says download Windows 10 disk image ISO file. So let's go ahead and scroll down and select edition. We're going to click Windows 10, continue, we'll confirm, and let's go ahead and go down to select the product language, and we're going to select English or your native language. And let's go ahead and click 64-bit download. So that's going to be more than likely the bit that you need to go ahead and download. I've already downloaded this, so just go ahead and click that here. It will go ahead and start downloading for you. You'll see it down there. And yeah, so now that while that's downloading, we can at least use that time to set up your USB and create the bootable USB drive. So what we need to do first is let's plug in your USB stick. I'm going to do that now. And that should come up. All right, cool. See, it's mine is empty, but you just want to make sure what you have on this drive is empty. You don't want to lose anything valuable. So now that it's plugged in, let's go ahead and type in CMD, and we want to go ahead and run as administrator. Now that we're on here, the first step we want to do is go ahead and let's get to a disk part. So DISKPART, one word, and press enter. And now we are in the disk partition area. So now we need to go ahead and let's first list the disks. So list disk, and this will show us all our disks that we have attached and are currently mounted and visible. So as we see, we have disk 0 and a disk 1. So this is a very critical thing. We need to make sure that we are selecting the right disk, because this can be catastrophic if we select, for example, disk 0, which will wipe off everything, and yeah, that will not be good. So in this case, I know my USB is a 32 gigabyte as far as USB stick. Right now it says it's 28 gigabytes available, so just be cautious and mindful. The best thing to do is remove all USB devices that you may have connected to your computer, just to be 100% sure that you're using the right USB. So now that we know that we're going to be doing disk 1, let's do select disk 1. Now select disk 1 is selected, and we're going to go ahead and do the clean command, which is going to pretty much just wipe everything off this drive here. All right, cool. So now that that's done, let's go ahead and create a partition. So create part primary. All right, and now that is going to be selected. So now that we have selected the and created the primary partition, which is going to only be the full drive of this USB, we want to go ahead and format this. So we're going to do format fs file system =fat32 and space, and now we're going to go ahead and label the actual USB drive. So we can do label =, and I'm going to name this Win10 Pro, and we want to do a quick format. So just make sure you do quick, because it will take a long time if you don't do that. So that looks good to me here. So press enter afterwards and let it do its thing. Right, perfect. So no, that was pretty quick. So the disk is successfully formatted the volume. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. So we're going to do list part, and as we see here, partition 1 has been set up and it's 28 gigs. That looks great. So now let's go and select it. Select partition 1. Now that has been selected, and now we need to go and activate it, which is one of the most important things, so we can make sure that it is a um, portable drive. I mean, it's sorry, active. Sorry. And with this, we're going to make sure that the drive actually loads up and is a bootable drive. So this is very important for this that step. And lastly, we want to go ahead and assign this. So when we assign this, this is going to open up and show us our Windows 10 Pro, as we see here that we named it. And that pretty much is all we need to worry about as far as setting up the the loading of the bootable drive itself. So we still need to do a few more things here as far as mounting the ISO file that we've downloaded. So let's go ahead and get that set up now. So now what we're going to do is select our ISO file that we downloaded previously. So just go ahead and locate wherever you have it stored and attached, and we want to go ahead and right click that and click mount. I already have it mounted on here, so this is what you will see if once you do it, it's going to show up something like this. It may show a different drive depending on your drive setup and what you have installed already. But now that that is done, you want to go ahead and do this. If you were to double click this, you can see all the files. But I would recommend you doing just create a new folder. You can just name it like Win10 or something. If it lets me. Win10 Pro or something. You can just name it like Win10, so it's less stuff to write. But let's go ahead and we want to copy everything to that file, and I'll show you why. I have an older laptop, so it's pretty slow. So we can go ahead and exit off of this. And now that that's done, let's go ahead and do a few things here. So it's just loading up. Almost done. So 99%. Come on, almost 100%. 98. All right, perfect. So now that we have that here, what we're really interested in this here is if we go ahead and go into sources, and we want to scroll down, and we're looking for the install.wim file. Where is it? Did I find it? Okay, install.wim file, right? Okay, so this file is 4.8 gigs, which is going to be 4.58 gigs, which is too large for for it to get on our partition that we just created, which is a FAT32 file system. So what we need to do is shrink that up and chop it up a bit. So to do that, what we're going to do is this. So let's go ahead and get right click and click properties. And in properties, we are just interested in the location. So we're going to go ahead and click that and copy, right? So click OK. So everyone, you guys will have a different location depending on your setup, but just go there wherever your location is of the file that you just extracted as far as the ISO file. So we can go ahead and minimize that. And now what we need to go ahead and do is and I'm going to have these in the description. So you don't have to worry about it. So on mine, we're going to go ahead and do this. So dism / Get-WimInfo. And I know, okay, I named it something different. So I need to change mine so you can see. Okay, I actually named it 110, so that's fine. It needs to be the exact spelling, uppercase and everything. So just keep that in mind. So I'll just go and copy that. And we're going to go and paste that in here. All right, cool. So this file shows you all of the actual Windows 10 options that you have as far as like home, education, Windows 10 Pro, Pro Education. So there's a whole bunch of them. And that's why the file is so large. So what we need to do is just chop this bad boy down. And to do that, we're going to go ahead and go by and do this command. So we're going to do here. And again, I'm going to save all of this here and send it to you. So the only difference with your file and my file is going to be from here. It's going to be this here. So C users is going to say your name, the desktop, which is going to be here, and whatever the name of the folder that you created, the same exact way that it's spelled and then sources, and then install.wim, and you then want to go ahead and do the same thing, just copy and paste it up to the sources, install, and now this is going to be .swm, and the file size is going to be 3800, so it's only going to be about, right under 4 gigs. So that's essentially what this is saying. So let's go ahead and copy this and paste it. So if my paste works. All right, cool. And then we're going to press enter. All right. It's going to take a few minutes for it to go and process and everything, but it's fine. This is the longest part because I was having so much issues with this myself that I said I have to create a video because it was getting pretty frustrating trying to get this all set up because I was actually just trying to extract the one Windows 10 index, which is 6, I believe. Yeah, and it was just making it like 4.3 gigs, which was still too large for me to use it. But this way here, it was working just fine. And as we see, operation completed successfully, and we can confirm that by going ahead and clicking that file here, and we can go back to sources and scroll down to the install, and we should have 3 total files here. And I'll show you here. So we have the install.wim, we have an install.swm, and the install2.swm. We want to go ahead and we can delete the actual install.wim, and you can tell by it being the larger one out of all of them, and it's a .wim file. So let's go ahead and delete that. All right, so we're good on that behalf. So that is complete here. So now we have a file source that is not too big. As you see, it's right under the 4 gig mark. So that's beautiful. And the other half of that. So we just need to make sure that looks good. So now all we need to do here is copy it to our actual file. I mean, to our USB that we just set up. So let me open up my drive here. Okay, let me just find it. All right, so I'm just gonna go back and my Windows 10 Pro, and we're just gonna copy this here and paste it. So now that's gonna go ahead and process and go through, and we should be good. So I'm not gonna bore you guys with this. It's just gonna go ahead and load up and do its thing. So it's gonna take a little while. My computer's a little slow, but you'll get the drift. So yep, I'll go ahead and come back when everything is complete. All right, so we are back, and it took a few minutes. It took quite a while actually, but yeah, it's actually downloading. I didn't get the error like I was getting before. In fact, I'll show you the error that I was getting here, and it looked like this. So it was saying the file install.wim is too large for the destination file system. So this was a error I was getting every single moment. Every time I waited like 15 minutes, it'll go through it and it'll just say, "Hey, file too large." So it's pretty upsetting. But now, if you look at it here now, it's been successfully installed. And if we go into sources, let's see what it shows now. I'm pretty curious to see what it says. Install, not too far down. Okay, so it's the install, the two install files, the .swm file. So we are complete with that. So that's been installed. So we can go ahead and just boot this bad boy up right now. However, what I'm going to do is show you guys how to install a as far as an answer file, which is also called an unattended file. Called an unattended install. So I'll show you how to do that, and we can pretty much package everything together from downloading the Windows 10 ISO to setting up the USB bootable drive, mounting the actual ISO to the actual bootable drive which we just completed, and then finally we're going to go ahead and set up the answer file, which is one of my favorite pieces, and which I thought was just so super cool. And we go in and do I'm going to generate it, and then I'll show you how to actually apply it towards the file here. Inside here, and we can go ahead and as far as make everything pretty much go together, and at the end we'll go ahead and do a full install with a demo of it so you can see exactly how it is once it's complete, with the full installation of Windows 10 Pro. So thank you for those who stuck through with me on this, and it's going to be super worth it. If I just help one person, I know I'll be super happy, because I was struggling with this for quite a few minutes. As far as it's been a bit, it was about an hour plus of my time, me continuously just trying to do multiple different things. But I finally got it, and I said, "Hey, let me show you guys what I did." So if it helps one, that's all I need. But yeah, let's go ahead and move forward with that here. So I'm going to stop this here now, and come back to you guys in a moment.